I'm calling out some kind of like weird hypocrisy because I've heard all manner of like outlandish, borderline racist, borderline creepy, borderline sometimes pedophilic things said by certain people on this and this space, advocating for like the weirdest shit ever, and then to turn around and
give an example. Give an example. Oh, you don't have an example.
I do have examples.
So you're just saying words. Give an example.
Yes. But you've asked me to say words, did you not?
Give me an example.
Did you not ask me to say words?
Give me an example. You made a truth claim, and I'm asking you for an example, and I don't think you'll get one.
When did I make a truth claim?
You just said that you've heard on this stage all kinds of things, which you said included all kinds of nefarious shit. So I want you to back it up. Tell me who said what that compares to. Well, because you're the one making the claim that there's a hypocrisy here. You want to be the lone voice defending those that threaten women with rape, and now you're making some moral equivalency.
You requested it, and I'm giving you the opinion. You asked for an opinion of sorts. You asked me for a take of sorts.
So where's the hypocrisy? Give me the example. Give me the example of the hypocrisy. What is? Well, okay. Listen, this is why fucking chillism is the dumbest fucking room on this entire app. It's people like this. It's people like this.
Okay.
I don't know. If anybody's friends with this fucking guy, just understand, he criticized the idea that people are somehow being soft because they don't like men threatening to rape women. And then when asked to give it, and then he made the comment that there's hypocrisy and he's heard all kinds of bad things. Ask him for an example. He can't come up with one. This is the low IQ bullshit.
I can give several examples of. I can give
an example, you retard. Give an example, you retard. Give it. Okay. You won't do it because you're a fucking retard. You're a low IQ retard.
I'm not gonna play your game. Like
you're a low IQ retard. You're a low IQ retard.
This is a
You're a low IQ retard. You're a low IQ retard. You're a low IQ retard.
We can put up our IQs. We can actually put them here in our.
You're a low IQ retard. Anyways. And listen, if you guys are friends with that guy, fuck whoever's friends with him. How about that? Because that was one of the stupidest fucking human beings I've ever interacted with on this fucking app. What a fucking retard. He decided that he wanted to defend, threatening women with rape, and then he said that in this room he's heard. He says it's hypocritical because he's heard things that are just as bad. When you ask him for an example, I choose not to give an example. That guy is fucking massively low IQ. But that is what chillism is about. If you guys have low IQ, go hang out in chillism with that faggot.
Okay, so, Huey...
And yes, I removed him because he's a fucking faggot.
Right, so let me tell you what Huey's example was that he was trying not to say, but it was emblematic of how people twist your words.
Well, hold on. If you're going to defend him, you and I are going to fucking have a problem here. Because he literally got on this in the chat. He's defending people threatening women with sexual violence, and then he's equating that to whatever he thinks that other people have said. And we ask him for an example, he didn't fucking have one. That guy is a fucking retard, and if you guys defend him, I'm gonna have smoke for all of you. So tread lightly.
Okay, here's the smoke. So we were having a conversation about our young adults, our young men particularly, not becoming not maturing quickly, that we've infantilized the youngest generation and handicapped them and prevent them from adulting. And I said, during the Great Depression, 13-year-olds would leave their farms and take the train into the city and work during the week and then come home on the weekend to the farm so their family would have money. And Huey says, oh, those sound like your kind of man. I'm he didn't want to go there because that's his most recent example. But it's actually an example of how he manipulates words to take the worst intent and framing of it to own people. So I'm ready for the smoke if you have it for me, sir.
Yeah. Anyways, anyone that spends too much time in that room will retard their brain. The guy. First of all, he doesn't have the intellect to engage with people properly. And then when he decides that it's time for him to speak up, his defense was of those that want to threaten women with sexual violence. I mean, the guy's a fucking clown.
Well,
exactly. On a good day, he's an incel. On a bad day, he's supporting sexual violence against women.
All right, I'll go after Anne.
No, go. And go.
So you said that he was doing it in the chat, but I can't see where he was supporting it in the chat.
That's because he was removed and his comments are gone, you retard. Jesus Christ.
When you remove somebody, the comments get removed?
Yeah,
That's
it's
how
terrible. I did quote tweet one of his comments. I could have sworn people on this stage have defended worse applications of free speech. And that's kind of where I think he was going, is that we should allow Brad to provide entertainment in the form of verbal harassment to people because free speech. But I submit that there's a power dynamic. Miss Shirley did not deserve the comments that he issued to her because she had the temerity to interrupt him yesterday morning. It was ugly and unnecessary. And she might have been condescending and passive aggressive when she called him, "Look, hun," and he didn't have to curse at her. He didn't. And he can control himself when he wants to. So Brad's selective outrage is annoying.
That's because he ties this performance, this performative, like, I don't know, like as a verbal abuser. He ties it to himself, and so he feels that he has to perform. I've been, I never start with that guy. And no matter what, invariably, he'll throw, after I speak about something that has nothing to do with him, just on the topic, he'll insult and verbally accuse. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's absolute horrible behavior. I think that anybody that gives any type of support to somebody like that doesn't really believe in like having a real discussion based in truth, just more performance.
Dina?
Hi, Anne. How are you?
Good. Are you okay?
Am I okay? Yeah.
No, I don't know. So hearing you in here is different than hearing you in chillism.
Give me an example.
Maybe in here you're playing defense and in there you play offense. So I'm not used to hearing you play defense all the time.
Play defense. I think I play defense wherever I go. I don't think everywhere I go, people don't like me. Yeah.
Monica, Scarlett. I'm so sorry. So, I think maybe one of the reasons why people keep talking over you is because the volume on your headset or your earbuds is very, very low. It happens. Just wanted to make you aware.
She's working. So that's why her mic would be low.
Yeah, that's easy. But no, it's not a criticism. It's just, hey, just want to let you know that there's a weird technique.
So, Kristen, I have to also say, yes. So yesterday when Serendipity and Monica held that room after, like, the shit show room, and then when you had said, like, I threw Brad down, and then Monica and Serendipity were like, well, when you do that, like, zero slowing down, it's fine, like, who cares? But, like, just own it, because you did that, Monica, myself, caught the smoke from it. So then when after their room, there was another in the mock room created. Brad came in, you were on stage, and it was talked about again and again. I got the smoke. He thought that I threw him down. I was getting the smoke. You were on stage and you stayed on mute. Why didn't you then own it or were you just too scared? Because that was really fucking annoying that you literally said, "Oh, next time I'll do that," and then we had a room, and I caught the smoke. Monica caught smoke again, and you stayed on mute. Like you didn't even own your shit. You just let us take the wrath for you. And I don't give a fuck about what Brad thinks of me, but like, you gotta grow some balls.
And I have an amazing set. I think anybody who's ever talked to me can tell you that mines are bigger than most men on here. And if I had felt it was necessary to do so, I've already apologized to Scarlett and to Serenity for any misunderstanding.
No, but we're
So,
all not.
I'm not done.
No,
I'm not done.
No, but you did it
I'm not done.
again.
I'm
You
not done.
apologized and did it again.
Yeah, I'm not done. So,
I wish that you were in the shirt.
Vote for John Kitover or you're not black.
You're just
don't
annoying.
want to, well, that's your opinion. You can have mine.
Not just mine, trust me.
I don't care. I have heard everything you can imagine on it. And if you think I care,
Keep going.
I have another thing for you. So, if we're going to be enemies, okay,
No,
awesome.
no, you're not
Well,
even
then
worth
if we're
being
not
my enemy. It's just that you're just like low-hanging
guess what?
fruit.
Then guess what?
You're just low-hanging
You're not-
fruit.
Yeah, you're not.
You're low-hanging fruit. It's
So
like,
if you're going
when we're
to-
having like psychological warfare, you would definitely not be on my team. And like,
So, what's going to happen?
Are you muting
because
me?
You're not,
Are you
you're not
muting me?
a mod and you're in
You're-
the house.
I don't give a fuck.
That's what's happening right now.
Okay.
And you
Guess
need to
what?
understand that.
Mute me again.
So,
I'm a
So-
leader in this. Are you a leader in here?
you can be whoever you want, but you
So
accept
don't
it,
fucking
and
mute
I'm
me. I don't know if
going
you
to-
think that you are.
Do you want me to respond?
Not really.
Do you want me to respond?
Not really.
Because I can.
What
And you know, and I can.
Oh,
And I-
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna
Well,
do?
Kristen, what I would like to know is next time you're in a room with Brad, will you tell him the third time he was moved down, it wasn't Monica, it wasn't Ann?
Sure.
Will you think about? Okay, because I think that would go a long way. Well, I'm not going to speak for Ann.
Okay, Scarlett, can I finish responding to Anne and I will
Yes.
address all of this? Thank you. I have no problem talking to Mr. Mann, but every time that I spoke, he interrupted me. So if there was any chance for me to actually explain that I am the person who was throwing you down, and I was with
There's
you,
no real
and,
extracts
actually,
or compression that you
that
can
would have
give.
been great, and I would have done so. But does Brad listen to me? Does he listen to anybody? No, he doesn't. I'm not going to argue with people who aren't going to listen. And
Who
if
said you
it's
have to argue?
I'm
You
not
just
done.
have to own it.
I'm not done. I already did.
Oh my god, then hurry
And
up,
I've already
lady.
told it. I've already told it to other people whose opinions matter more than yours. And I have made mistakes, absolutely. And I'm ready to learn it. And I'm ready to be called out, absolutely.
Okay, then you
I'm
should
not
have
very good at it.
call you out.
It's fine. But there's different ways of like of doing that. So
How do you want to be called out? Please tell me your terms and conditions that I know and can remember next time.
I don't care to engage in anything else with you.
Okay, so I'm not just speaking on. I'm not just
Okay,
speaking
you
on
know
my.
what?
I'm
Here's
speaking
the thing
about
that's gonna happen.
Monica
There's no
too.
real extract.
The thing is that you keep on interrupting me,
All Monica
and
said
then
is
you
next
ask
time
me
we're in a
from a
room, we
thing,
can say
and
it's
then
Brad.
all of this kind of stuff, and like I can totally
Oh
outdo
my
you
god,
in the whole
everyone's like,
And
this
I
woman
can
won't
just-
shut up.
Okay, so here's the way that it is. You guys can all not listen to me. I'm just answering the question that was given to me.
Okay, so did you answer Monica's question? Because it was really simple.
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
It was a yes or no.
Scarlett, did I answer your question?
I heard she said she'd be happy to, but maybe. I don't think I misheard.
So then why didn't you do it yesterday, Kristen, after we discussed it? Why didn't you do that? I guess I just want to understand why. You just like literally just sat back and just let us take heat again, and I just think that's like I just lost a lot of respect for you.
You never had any to begin with.
Well, I mean,
So I don't really care. I don't care to engage in you ever.
It's not that I didn't have. Right,
I
I
don't
just
care about your opinion.
Right.
I don't care.
So it's not that.
Hold on. Can I jump in?
Of course you can.
You want to get in the middle? Is that what I'm hearing, Mojo?
No, I don't want to hear a male's voice right now. Ladies, continue.
Oh God. Listen, I don't think that white on white violence.
voices.
Except Evans.
What? Who the
No,
fuck?
definitely not. Definitely
If
not.
somebody interrupts me again, I'm gonna fucking toss you. Listen, if you guys can't fucking do this without interrupting, go to Chillism. Go hang out with people that make comments supporting the violence against women. Look, can we just move on? Why are the white women fighting with each other? I mean, like
hot.
I mean, no, seriously. Did somebody schedule their Tupperware party on the same day? Like, what was the grievance that white women could possibly be fighting over today?
You're killing all of our buzzes. These are like the hottest women on the app, and they're getting a little spicy. Like, let it happen.
Matt, stop. Okay, so what I'd like to know, Mojo, moving forward, if Brad goes scorched earth on a Girl Scout girl, figuratively speaking, I would my recommendation in the room that I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the replay was that there be an informal mod chat somewhere. Like, I know you don't like going off the app, and I can't figure out how to create a group back channel, but I think that would have gone a long way to helping prevent what happened.
Listen, you know what else prevents things? Just referring to the rules. I'll read them to you.
100%.
So if we were to take a look at the rules of the House, rule number 1, no threats of violence. Number 2, no doxing. Number 3, stay on topic. Number 4, keep your shares brief. Here's an important one. Number 5, do not interrupt speakers, especially mods. Number 6, mods may interject when appropriate. Number 7, the N and K words are forbidden on stage and in chat. Number 8, don't spam chat. Number 9, do not bring drama here from other rooms. Number 10, English only. And number 11, which was added yesterday, keep families out of your mouth. Those are the 11 rules of the House. I think if we would have just simply invoked the violations that were happening, there's probably a need for additional rules, but we'll wait until these situations arise. But I think those 11 rules will keep the temperature down in most cases.
I thought the 11th rule was to let Hakima speak. I have to change my PTR now. Bummed. I just made it this morning.
You need one more for the 12 rules of Mojo.
To those rules and what happened yesterday, is there an assumption, because I think that's where there was some ambiguity, if you are not here, you empower the other mods to maintain and enact said rules when someone is having a severe toxic meltdown, as was the case yesterday? Or is that not the case? Do you have to be here for that to happen?
Yeah, so the rules should guide the room, and anyone that has a mod badge, if you're confused about what to do, just refer to the rules. And the unwritten rule is that mods do have discretion. I probably need to be more careful on who's modding in the rooms. Like, for example, right now we have a conflict between mods. This is not the desired state of a room. You want to make sure that even if there's differing opinions, that they have respect for each other, or at least show it within the confines of the rules. And we haven't said no personal attacks. That's not a rule. But I'm noodling on the language of if there is going to be personal attacks, I want it to be mutually determined that both parties involved wish to engage in that, because otherwise it's just being a bully. And that's what I don't want to see. But if two people want to go off on each other and they can keep families out of it, not say certain words, I think that's fair game.
It's incredible how reasonable and wonderful Mojo could be as long as he doesn't apply it to himself. I actually agree with that. I think that was fabulous and well said.
How would you... give me an explanation of when I don't follow that.
joking.
No, I'm being serious.
You're a huge bully. You're a huge bully.
Example?
Me? You've bullied me for weeks. That's what you do. You bully everybody.
I challenge your ideas, and your ideas are hard to defend, and so you feel bullied.
Oh, Mojo. He just came into the room. The dumbest person on the app. Oh, look, Mojo. Low IQ Mojo just came into the room. Oh, yeah. You don't like my views. Oh, Mojo is a terrorist sympathizer. Oh, Mojo. Come on. You're a bully.
I don't even know what you're saying. I'm trying to follow what you're saying.
I mean, just replay any of the times I've been on this stage in the past several weeks. I mean, you've been really good for the past 3 days. I'll say that. You're different. You're different. You're not the same. You're a new man.
None of us are the same as we were yesterday.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
Are you flirting with Mojo?
I am flirting with the potentiality, the principal potentiality of him possibly adhering to this wonderful principle that he's just laid out. And yeah, I think
what she said is she's attracted to my masculinity, but she doesn't like that we disagree.
No, I love to disagree.
Well,
trust me.
hold on, Bima. Let him have that. So that, yeah. I really do admire Mojo's desire to come between two women. That was pretty remarkable.
Why between them? Why not on them?
No.
Beneath them.
Oh, that was an unfortunate phrase of words, but you know what? I appreciate that, and I will take both. And I mean, seriously, Scarlett and Mojo, very well said and played.
Matt Cool said something interesting in the chat. He says, if I had done what Brad did, I would have been tossed, I bet. Do we think this is true?
Yes. The mods didn't know what to do with him, and he should have been.
Nye bent over backwards trying to calm him down.
She's not that flexible.
Because I'm chicken shit.
That's unkind. I don't like you talking about my friend. I think you did a great job, and I was gonna go behind you.
I was so uncomfortable. I just knew it wasn't going to end well. I was like, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah, right. Mistakes were made. Just for everybody, so to clarify, yeah, the mistakes were made yesterday. They were talked about amongst the moms and where the mistakes happened and like adhering to all of the rules better. Like, for example, if you bring somebody down as a mod, it doesn't work to have another mod bring that person back up without clear consent with everybody. That made a big mess. And
I think we're getting too into the details. I think
the reason why I'm saying that only is because there's been some people asking, well,
Kristen, here's the broad stroke of what happened. Okay.
Yes.
The male mod. This is true. So let me finish. The male mod left and chaos ensued. I probably need to do a mod seminar where I can teach the women what I know about moderation. It's crazy for me to have expected that the women of this room would have been able to mod on their own. And so I apologize for leaving. I apologize for not training you all properly, but I will commit to training the moderators.
It's not that we're incapable of moderating spaces we create. It's that when you're moderating a space in a house that you don't own,
Yep.
you're always focused on what would Mojo do. And
How about this? What about acknowledging that even Mojo makes mistakes and then just dedicate yourself to trying to do the right thing? If your decision is wrong-headed, we could talk about that. But if you could justify, I believe that this was the right thing to do, I took this course of action, I'm the moderator, I think we can live with that. And then we could challenge the logic and the reasoning that you applied, I would argue, just live on your own understanding of what is right and wrong.
That's what I did yesterday. The only regret I have is I was unable to speak so that people didn't understand the motivations behind my actions. I had like 30-minute delay before I could explain what was happening.
Okay, so here's what would have happened differently if I was there. And again, I don't want to rewrite history, but like, here's what I suspect. If I were there, if Shirley would have interrupted Brad, I would have either said, Shirley, let Brad finish, or if I hadn't got to that point and Brad started going in hard on Shirley, I would have said, Brad, if I needed to, I maybe would have used tools like meetings or that sort of thing. But my guess is that he would have listened to me, and then we could have just established the border. Let's let Brad finish, then we'll go to Shirley. And I think what happens is when we sometimes we create this space because we want it. Sometimes we create this space of be like, oh, let's see where this goes. Oh, Brad's getting fired up. Shirley's catching strays. This is different. This is exciting. I'm getting my dopamine. Let me just sit back. And I'm guilty of this. We're all guilty of this. The question is, what is too far? And it would be boring if we stopped every escalation before it really gets a chance to mature. But we have to be honest with ourselves. We come here to see some conflict. I just think we need better rules of engagement. So when we have conflict,
I'm sure that very masculine. And some of them all be masculine by
people like Jane are not told that they're going to get raped and drown in a body of water. I think there's certain things we should be able to agree upon that are too far.
I mean, no, I agree. Like, and I think that, like, I mean, people that just go, I don't even know why there even needs to be rules. Like, because people should just, well, I guess on Clubhouse we need rules. But Brad has said these kind of things to a lot of women on the app. I mean, he's even gone as far as saying he was going to bend Isaiah over and shove a crucifix up his ass.
So, like, you're a fucking pussy. You're born a pussy. You'll always be
a dude that he was saying that to, which, and not a woman. To me, I still think that that's a little too far, right? Because he said he was going to essentially rape Isaiah and then shove a crucifix of all things up his ass.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Y'all stop acting like girls.
Are you ready for a topic? I mean, yeah, I can. I love that femininity.
I love femininity too.
I'm sure that very bad.
Sometimes I love it best silent.
This is candidate Congressman John Kitover.
Anyway,
Number 25, Section 1, in case of the removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation.
If it's something that there's agreed upon, like what the example he just gave, assaulting a woman, anyone, and implying that you're going to do that end their life, yeah, I think that's too far. I think that's zero tolerance. That's not, you're a libtard. No, that is the stuff that documentaries and true crime, that's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts.
What was I about to say? You know what? Sorry.
How awesome the women in Fremont. Yeah.
No, I was about to say this. So, John Kitover, I just spoke with Lou Fax, and I'm going to give him a call here in a moment, and just want to check your availability because he wants to do an interview on, I don't know if he's going to do it on Twitter or on here, but he wants to interview the candidate. So I'm going to speak to him and get it scheduled. So just let me know your availability.
I will make myself available at any time. to have that incredible opportunity.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to talk at the back channel or if you want to talk right here about issues that I think that his listeners might care about. Things that are consistent with your vibe.
Yeah, we can talk about anything here. I'm open to having all conversations in the public.
Yeah, so I would think that occupational licensing fees would really, like, reducing and eliminating occupational licensing fees, like, for example, fees for people that want to, like, twist braids or cut hair or cut nails, things like that. I think that would be helpful to his community. I also think civil asset forfeiture, the act of the police taking property from somebody before they're convicted of a crime, I think that's a problem. I think those are the kind of things that if you were to tap into and discuss how not only are these horrible policies, but they disproportionately impact certain segments of the population.
Yeah. I mean, in Illinois, we have the Illinois Department of Financial Professional Regulations, where if you're a realtor or a hairstylist, you have to get these ridiculous, you have to pass tests, you have to pay all this annual licensing fees just to perform this service. And in terms of, civil asset forfeiture, I mean, if you're driving to a casino and you've got, $10,000-$20,000 in your car and you get pulled over and the police take that money from you and claim that you're involved in some kind of drug, scheme, and then you have to get a lawyer and go to court to get your money back. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous what the police can do.
I've been there, done that, and it's actually less than that. I was driving home from Reno once, and I had money in an envelope, and I was getting tired, and I was speeding coming out of the mountain, coming out of Reno, and I was pulled over, and they had all the right in the world to give me a ticket. No problem. But then when they asked what was in the envelope, I told them that I had some success at the casino in Reno. They told me to step out of the car. They took the envelope. I had to hire a lawyer. I was able to get my assets back, but I was not able to recover the money that I had to spend or the time that I had to spend to fight to get my money back.
Yeah, and it can take a long time. They can take a year to jack around. When my inverter went out, the only time my car broke down when I was 20 miles from home in the two-lane parking lot. I mean, I had to do something where I could even have it towed.
Yeah, when I moved to California, Los Angeles from Illinois, Chicago, I drove there and I had some cash in my car and I got pulled over before I got out of the state of Illinois for speeding, and they stripped my car down. I couldn't believe how hard they were looking, and they couldn't find it. And it was, a big victory to leave that asset forfeiture seizure, operation that they were doing. They could not find the cash in the car.
So, Anne, Kristen, are you guys okay?
You're so stupid.
I'll take that as a yes.
I just can't wait for the next time when Brad's in here. I'm just going to be like, all right, Kristen, here's your moment to shine. And then when she does it, then I'll say, good job, Kristen. Welcome to In the Mob. You're now one of us.
See, the best way to deal with Brad is he is a heat-seeking missile. You just don't want his, targeting sensors to detect you. So, deploying that military asset to chillism is an excellent use of that heat-seeking missile. And I put a clip in chat where you can watch Brad absolutely nuke chillism.
I saved it. Good. Thank you for putting that in there.
I will say, you can trash talk chillism all you want, but there is only one room on this app. Only one, and it's only chillism. that allows absolute free speech. It does not kick people out. Knowledge is the person, not Nathan. Knowledge is behind that genius. You can say anything you want. No bullying. You get to get it out.
Wait, no bullying.
Thanks for that. Review. That was a good reminder for me to unfollow you. Thank you.
And no bullying is a rule that is adamantly opposed to free speech. And by the way, like, why should you be able to say whatever you want? Like, every one of these spaces is curated by a host who gets to decide, how they want to run their space. And I don't know. I just don't know why you would advocate for that.
Yeah, I'm curious why people want certain content in their space. The most pushback rule that we have in this house is the rule that says that you can't say the N and the K word. Now, for most rational adults, they don't have a problem with that. Those are not words that are regularly incorporated into their vocabulary. But here on Clubhouse, it's the most pushed back upon rule. Imagine that. People fighting for the right to say the N word. It's amazing. Bima, do you oppose my rule about not saying the N word?
No, I like that rule. I mean, I think, so it's difficult because, I don't know, I'm not intelligent enough to make that call. I rely on the people to make.
I agree with you.
Yeah, no, but seriously, free speech, like, it's interesting. I think that it's nice to know who you're talking to, right? And you have English language as 3,000 adjectives. Right? And you have the ability to build upon them, like making a potentially infinite number of words that you could use besides that. So I like to know who I'm talking to. So I don't know. I'm undecided. I would prefer not to have that word said in a discussion, but I also would prefer not to be bullied or harassed for a particular position, and to have my positions genuinely represented and not manipulated, you know what I mean?
But Bima, wouldn't you agree that you were given ample time to talk? I mean, in fact, I hear people ask you questions all the time, and then they mute up and they allow you to respond. Do you feel that you don't get adequate time to share your thoughts?
I'm not sure what that has to do with what you just asked.
Well, I'm responding to what you just said, where you felt that you don't get a chance to represent your case, and I think that that's incorrect.
No, that's not what I said. You see, like, this is one of those times. I never said I don't get enough time.
Well, listen, I agree that there's some people in this room, which could include me, that think that some of your ideas are poorly thought out and definitely poorly argued. And so there's definitely going to be a critique of that. Do you think that that's unfair in these discussions?
No, I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is when I've answered enough questions and you know what my position is, and then there's an intentional manipulation of my position for performance or whatever else. If that's your business model, I mean, whatever. I bring myself, I put it here, I can leave quietly if I want, but I still think that it's disingenuous and it's not it's not good for civil dialogue.
Let me ask you this. Which house on this app do you think is the best moderated?
Well,
let's narrow the options. Let's say Healthy Debates, In the Muff, Chillism, and Lisa 420. Who do you got?
It depends on the goal. Like free speech I have that answer. Good, cultivation of dialogue, I have the answer. So what, we got to set the goal. Because I'll tell you what, I know it ain't healthy debates because I found chillism because healthy debates kept kicking my ass out when I was having civil dialogue. So healthy debates was my reason for going to chillism. And so that just shut down dialogue completely. But this, in the muff, I don't know. I like a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. But I still know that I don't have to be I don't have to fear presenting any type of political position in knowledge space ever. As long as knowledge is there, right? Knowledge is there. That's the safest place on this app to express your freedom of thought. But I mean, not everybody likes safe. And I understand that too. They're all different business models. Just depends on what you're looking for.
Bima, you don't view the Green Bean moderator and the design of this app, with houses and rooms as like a way to essentially be free? Because if you think you're being bullied or you're getting kicked out of this room or that, it might not have to do with, the moderation or the room. It could be you, meaning that the way you speak or what you're talking about or how aggressive you are. I mean, it's easy to throw stones and call people bullies, but I'm just saying the ability to create here is the ultimate redemption.
I think that's out for, to be determined, right? But I would say there's a guy on this app, I don't remember his name, but he streams rooms. And I know that there's I could get a lot of clips, possibly maybe an hour's worth of just not unprovoked insults coming into particular spaces, but not in the last 3 days. And I got my eyebrows.
There's a guy on this app that streams rooms.
Yeah, on YouTube. And really? So, yeah. And so the point though was that we could probably catch that guy and find some recordings.
Who is that guy?
I wouldn't know.
There's several, aren't there? There's you.
He's definitely not right above you, people. Definitely not. Not our final congressman.
Yeah, no, not at all. That guy's running for Congress. That's Congressman John Kitover, who reads wonderful works and educates the public.
Yeah, doesn't he talk about the Dow?
Precisely. Simplicity. What was it? Spicy.
It's definitely not him.
No, not him.
I want to know who this guy is. I mean, he could potentially be making us famous.
God, I hope not.
So, Moose, what makes you think that Healthy Debates is a better moderated house than In the Muff?
When JB is moderating, he does a good job of giving everyone a chance to speak and welcomes everyone on stage, regardless of one's political affiliation. And
do you read everyone?
Sorry?
You said he allows everyone?
Everyone what?
Well, because I've heard complaints that people get removed from that space quite a bit.
Well, I think he said political affiliation.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Now, what they say after they're welcomed to get them removed, that's obviously up to them. Just like you have your rules, he has his rules, I suppose. And I've seen significant improvement with your moderating, Mojo, so check back with this poll in another week.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like there's a race to the top, and boy, well, you see where I'm at, right, Moose?
I have no idea what he just said or what that meant.
So you choose what space you want to be in, right? And never mind.
Right. Like you choose to hang out with Mike Chosen, where people drop the N-bomb as if they were saying, oh, heck.
I would say so too. I mean, just speaking from experience, like from my own experience, the reason why I would go into the healthy debates a long time ago was because I'm a very sensitive person, and in order for me to gain more of a callous in a social environment and get more practice speaking and all of that kind of stuff, I would go in there, and it would help to challenge me. Because people would challenge me. They would say, I would say something, and then whether it's an attack or whether it's a challenge or whether it's a thought-provoking thing and I ask questions or whatever, most of the time, yeah, I got my feelings hurt. But at the same time, I went into that room knowing exactly what I'm stepping into. And I did that on purpose so that I could better myself, so that I don't get so upset if somebody does say something to me. And I need a lot more practice with that. And just all kinds of stuff. That's just my own journey in here. But I chose to go in there and not. Most people are like, oh, I'll never go in there, and they're just crazy. They're so mean. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes it's kind of fun. Go ahead and beat me up, because then I learn better how to navigate in this world, and I learn how to better control myself and behave. But that's my own.
This is like rapid fire Toastmasters. I did public speaking in college, did a course, and that was really insightful. And what was interesting about that experience is I came back from Israel on a birthright trip, and I gave a presentation on the Palestinian Media Watch organization and how they distribute propaganda through fake Disney television programming and all kinds of things. And I got called into the professor's office, and he sat me down, and he was from like Chile or Argentina, and he screamed at me for an hour about how the Jews, through learned behavior, are the new Nazis of the Middle East. And he gave me some kind of punishment of something, and then I walked out of his office, and that was the end of it. But from a public speaking perspective, that was like my first big success in public speaking or gaslighting, to a particular set of audience that has Jewish derangement syndrome or Israeli derangement syndrome, and it's totally all or nothing or one sided. But that's not the point of what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is that Clown House is your Toastmasters opportunity to come prepared to your public speaking engagement. And the quickest and easiest way to do it is to do AI prompts or Grok prompts and just read some data. You need I mean, I don't know if any of you have done public speaking and understand like the framework to a speech, but your attention getter or telling people what you're going to tell them is your introductory statement, and then you move on to your main bodies or your main points. It's the same format as an essay essentially, and then you tell them what you told them and you give them your conclusion statement. But it's important to inform your audience whether you're giving a persuasive speech or an informative speech, and be direct and to the point with regards to which one it is. I mean, they're technically the same thing, but anyways, this is just public speaking, and people take this so personally and road rage on here and make homicidal ideation threats. That is strange, but also because you've witnessed it so many times, it's a lot of just like dopamine creation in the weirdest way possible. But listen, I mean, I hate to say it, but we live in a very violent world, and we are all going to disappear. So, if you want to spend your time complaining about bullying, or, talking about the past, my favorite rule in this house is don't bring drama from other rooms in here, because that immediately demands that you're in the now. And today doesn't end up being a bleed over from yesterday and the day before. And so when you're in the now, you do not bring up stories of past drama from other rooms.
present a Toastmasters speech on the topic? Toastmasters? Is it just like a regular, like thesis?
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster. Is it Toastmasters?
Toastmaster.
I took it to my business. They had us do it. What was it? Lube in a Sooty? Back in the day. You guys want to change the topic or what?
If you want to, okay, that was a little bit of an awkward segue, but sure.
I like Roger Spaces in that moderation the best, because I feel like he's got a little something to offend everyone. And if you're not offended occasionally, then you're probably in the wrong space.
I've listened to Chillism for many years now and have recorded the rooms many, many times. And like from a speaking perspective, everybody, gets a low grade, and the moderators, to me, it's unbelievable that Tolly and Nathan can absorb all of that, and go about their daily business. Because I assume Tolly's working from home, and Nathan, who knows what he does, occasionally. Anyways, it's too much. It's TMI. But what I'm saying is, look at these 4 rooms in the survey, cast your vote, but just know that, these 4 rooms are in the permafrost of Clown House. They are consistent, and they draw a crowd. So it's very easy to shit on people, but the point is, they still are able to create these incredible situations or cast of characters. And if you are a capitalist or a business entrepreneur, recording these rooms and bootlegging them could be a good opportunity, because they are not recorded, they are one-offs, and the cast and the crew will never come together again. So each conversation is rather special from that perspective. I don't think anybody's interested in these conversations in the future, because most people want to be in a now conversation, and that's what creates the highest dopamine. So, anyways, I cast my vote for Mojo because I think Mojo has organized the most intelligent and curated conversations on this app, and the funniest conversations. Because I do think it is a little bit like a roast where the head MC, gets to bat around somebody, toss around their ideas, and then bring in a new subject. So, I salute you, Mojo.
Thank you. I also welcome people to roast me. That's something you don't get in a lot of these rooms. Try going into politically correct and roasting the host.
Happily. Oh, wait, no, don't twist my arm.
I think when Bima said that I do a drive-by and just go into rooms and drop insults, I've definitely gone into Chillism and just, press that button many times from many accounts. But I think from their perspective,
I can't hear him. Is it me or is it?
It's you.
Okay.
It's that cheap phone of yours.
Good morning, sunshine.
Oh, I didn't realize I was on mute. Sorry, guys. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know, Congressman. I would say that I do agree with you. I would say this probably is the best moderated, or right now. However, it's not the safest to talk about topics, and that's I think that's important too. So, like I said, depending on your goal.
What topic do you think is unsafe to discuss in this room?
You already know the answer to that. And I mean, listen to Yui. Like you had a pretty harsh criticism of Yui today, who got kicked out of the room, and you had your opinions about him. Monica has her opinions about him, I'm sure, but we've had plenty late night conversations. Me, Hagap, Yui, a couple others, and they're really good conversations. And I do think that he's a fabulous chess player, and I also think that he has some great argumentation. And I also think that he can, mess up just like anybody else. So I would like to see Yui stay and talk, but like I said,
I think his fake accent is the first problem, but the big mistake he made in here was defending attacking women. I mean, you can't be in polite society if you think it's okay to sexually assault women. He thought that there was a moral equivalence between other things that were said in this room and talking about directly sexually assaulting women. And then when he was asked for an example, he couldn't give one. I think that shows that he was a bad faith actor.
If anybody is to give me like the abridged version of what happened besides Mojo, I would listen to it. But I mean, Mojo, there is a chance in the future that you maybe become a reliable source, but I've seen you manipulate enough retellings that there's no way that I'm just gonna.
How about this? I'll pick the person with the most politically opposite views of me on the stage. Moose, you were here for this. Moose, do you think that?
No. Let him tell me what happened.
Okay, good. Moose, go ahead and tell her what you observed when Huey was here.
Yui came in. I guess there were comments in the chat, and then what happened?
Moose.
Well, it's all right. There's still a place. There's still opportunity. What was it called? The adjacent possible. There may be some amazing adjacent possible out there for you, Mojo. Past 3 days, it's been pretty nice. Minus today, but I can't make a full assessment because
I have a question about free speech and chillism. How come Rich isn't allowed in chillism?
Well,
that was a fair question, I thought.
He was in there.
Am I not hearing? I don't hear anybody.
Did your audio? Yes, the audio.
That was an interesting time for her to have audio issues.
You did too, though.
I was in Chillism the other day, and Rich was in there on 2 separate occasions. I mean, Nathan was yelling at him, but he wasn't there.
I was told that he was banished from there.
He seems to be on the back in the good graces of the mods, because he was definitely in there yesterday.
Would you say that the mods in that room are consistent with each other, that they all subscribe to the same rule set?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I couldn't hear that. I'm really sorry. I had to go out and come back in.
We were asking why, if chillism is about free speech, why did Rich get removed from chillism?
Because he violated one of the rules too many times. They have like
Which rule? What rule, Bima?
Doxing, and just like every rule, he violates every rule. He's not a good guy.
Well, I have to say this out loud. Rich has been blocked from this room.
He's banned from this one too.
Well, I've blocked him personally on 2 of his accounts, but if he apologizes this is my condition for him, if he apologizes to Adams and then another particular woman who I will not mention by name, if he apologizes to them for his behavior and agrees to follow the rules, he will be reinstated in the muff.
this is not an intention. This steer, no, that's a lie. That's a damn lie. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I think. You want to love Rich because you know when somebody's just off and you just know they're off and you want to give them a chance. And he's admitted like
I know that all too well. But go ahead, continue.
So thank you. So I think he says like he's autistic or something. I don't know what it is. So you want to like give him chances, you know. But it never changes. It never changes. It doesn't matter. And he's one of the biggest disruptors of good conversation. In most of the best rooms that I've been in, like little teeny rooms, there's no way that people will tolerate him. And I feel bad, you know, because I want him to have a space, but it's too difficult when he starts to harass people, especially about like their personal life, you know, and intentionally lie. Like he said one time, he kept going between two rooms and saying that other people were talking about the other people. Now, I witnessed this, and once I witnessed it, I said, hey, I saw what you just did. You just went over, and now these people are thinking, you know, they're taking it seriously. They're not taking it as a troll. And he was intentionally inflaming and making up just fights between people and individuals. And that's what he likes to do. And I'm like, why do you do that? That's not right. Right? And he's just like, what did he say? He wanted to win the award for the biggest troll or something like that. And that's his intention is to cause chaos. Those are his words. And, you know, I mean, do what you want, but you're not going to have a good conversation with him in the room. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's just the truth. Do you know what I did? Listen, I don't like when I mod rooms and I open up a room, I do not move people. If I was ever modded, I'll be the worst mod. I don't move people. Unless they're threatening threats of violence or doxing, those are the only two things, right? Only two things that I would, that's too far. But,
Bima, can I just pause you there? So,
yeah, go ahead.
When this room was discussing somebody's behavior where they were threatening violence, specifically sexual violence to women on the stage, there was another individual that defended that and tried to draw a moral equivalence between that type of communication and other things in this room. And then when I called that out and even asked for examples, I wasn't given an example. Can you tell me how you square what you had just said with your defense of Huey?
So I feel like that you definitely have an agenda of why you just asked what you said, because I don't know how it's relative to anything that I'm saying.
All people have bias. I just own mine a little bit better than most. So yeah, I have a bias. One of my bias is I like to protect women. Another bias is I like to call out when people have gone too far, and then when people are simping for bad behavior, I like to call that out too. That's all I did with Huey. The reason why
I see.
Hold on. The reason why Huey got removed was he chose not to engage in good faith. I gave him multiple opportunities. He came up and he said that he thought that it was hypocritical to criticize somebody for threatening sexual violence on women. And then I said, well, where's the hypocrisy? Give me the example of a behavior that's equivalent that you think it happens. And he couldn't answer that question. And then his refusal to have an honest dialogue is what got him removed. I mean, the whole reason we have these dialogues is to be able to have honest conversations. It appeared that he was either unwilling to have an honest conversation or incapable. In either case, that's why he was removed.
Yeah, actually, Roger, he also said that multiple people in this room he has examples of. So he couldn't even name one example from one person.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, honestly, when you did that and you played that move, and he chose not to answer, I don't think you give enough people credit to say, oh, look, we all saw that that's a checkmate, right? And you won right there. That was a win. And now he has to go on and defend whatever he was going to do. I feel that it would have been a better idea to let him, if that was the case, to just let him, crash and burn. You know what I mean? But you did what you did. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, listen, I would have, I am knocking it. I would have liked to have heard what he would have to say. He's also, like there's other psychological dynamics, like, he knows that you're the alpha in the room and he likes to debate Yui. He's like a big debater. So
wouldn't another way to be able to frame that is that he knows that he's the beta in the room?
For the sake of the conversation and the lens, if we're taking your lens short. And so what happens is he's already like preparing for these psychological dynamics, and I already saw that these are like tactics that he tries to avoid just to keep control of the conversation. It's just debate stuff, right? But that's how Yui handles debate. But he's still, very intelligent, and I would have liked to.
So he handles debate. I mean, Roger asked him directly, gave him multiple opportunities to say, okay, saw what you put in chat. You're up here on stage. Go ahead and defend yourself. Give us examples. And I won't. And he said, I'm not going to play your games. Or I'm not going to play your game. Like it was bullshit. It was performative.
Right.
He had no substance. That is not a good debater.
Well, like I said, he knew that there was like a chokehold, so he was in a chokehold. I would have liked to say what he was going to say at all. You know what I mean? But we'll never know. That's all that I'm saying. Like, let it play out. I mean, you do what you want. I'm saying that's what I would want to do. But my point is, to get back to Rich, I don't move people when I mod rooms, and he intentionally will go in my room and destroy and noise troll the room, intentionally because he knows I'm not going to, remove him. And what I end up doing is I just end up leaving. I'll mod somebody else and I'll leave. And so the room gets destroyed. And he's done that to me many times. So I had to block him. I've never blocked anybody on this app. I've never reported anybody. I don't do that, but I had to block him because, he made it impossible to just have a good room. But anyway, that's the point. And to Yui's, again, with Yui, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'll have to take your word for it. Yeah, I think Yui's pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen too. I mean, like that's one of the downsides of kicking somebody out. Maybe we could have moved him to the goo, and then Mojo, you do this well, and I've seen you do it many times. Take control of the narrative, move to the goo. Like, hey, look, this is what this person said. I look at the chat, boo 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 boo, and now we're gonna like if he doesn't want to defend or give us reasons, then he could think about it or he could come up when he's ready, you know what I mean? Because now I have no way of verifying like what happened. And I mean like Yui's not an unreasonable person most of the time. I'm not saying that he's not ever unreasonable. I mean I think we all are at some points. But I mean
I think what his biggest crime is that he doesn't speak up in this room ever. And then the one time that he thought, I'll mix it up, he wanted to take to the chat to defend threats of violence, threats of sexual violence towards women. And then when I brought him to the stage to defend his asinine comments, he couldn't do it. He said that there's a hypocrisy and that equally bad things have been said. And I said, who says equally bad things to threatening sexual violence to women? Call it out. And he couldn't give a single example. The entire engagement was very bad faith, but that's what you get when you bring people from chillism. Like, there's a culture over there of bad faith. There's a culture over there of people that don't want to stand behind the words that they say. They'll type something in chat, and when you ask them point blank, how do you defend this? They clam up. And so I think that he's a midwit. I think that people confuse his accent with being articulate. And I think ultimately what he was guilty of is showing that the only conversation he was interested in engaging with was support of threatening women with sexual violence. That was his position.
Bima, you know what an incel is, right?
I do.
Would you say that might be a fair assessment of not all, but several of the chillism bros in there? particularly this Huey guy?
No, I don't think Huey is an incel. Maybe you haven't run into an incel. I mean, Scarlett knows. I know a leader of the incel movement.
So he just hates women. Because for someone to take the side or defend free speech when, to Mojo's point, when it's involving violence against a woman sexually, and to the extent of implying murder, you're either an incel or you absolutely hate women.
Okay, Moose, Mojo, you might not have been around, but he had asked you before if you could tell us exactly like what happened, because it seems like you're back. Because you're giving a descriptive, like it's already like your lens. Could you tell me just objectively, like you came into the room, this person, you could just use A, and A said this, then B said this, then Yui said this. Can you just give me a breakdown of what happened objectively?
It's moments like these when I take the deepest breath of the day.
Luke, you're back. You were asked a question. I don't know if you.
Moose, not both.
What's up?
You were asked a question, and
what was the question?
Moose, just if you could just give us an objective, a breakdown of what happened without, opinion, just like.
I thought you were asking Mojo that. I'm not here to do forensics of a clubhouse chat or interaction. There were enough people here that observed said interaction. Unless you're willing to pay me, because I do work as an investigator, but I don't work for free.
Okay, well, thank you for your contributions. So anyway, you guys want to talk about a different topic? Because I want to tell you something that I found out today. It's disturbing me. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so it's just like, hey, I wonder why Nigerians there's like this culture of like scamming from Nigerians, and someone called me out on it, like that's kind of like xenophobic, like, and I was just like, is it though? Because I wanted to check, so I pulled up the World Cybercrime to see, because if I'm wrong, I need to know. Okay, would you believe what country is number one for cybercrime in the world?
North Korea.
Everybody guess.
North Korea.
It depends on how you.
Shit, I can't hear anybody again.
Oh, hold on.
North Korea.
Yeah, it depends on how you define cybercrime. So it'll be interesting to see what your answer is. I'll fact check it.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, the North Koreans are screwing around with you, baby.
Dang, it's funny that you're saying North Korea, because they're in the top 10. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Did you guys, what do you think is the number one country that commits cybercrime?
Illinois.
No.
North Korea here?
It's not North Korea, but they're on the top 10.
Well, hold on. Where are you, Ukraine or Russia? Hold on. Where are you getting your statistics from, first of all? Because I can point people to the better statistics around cyber attacks.
Okay, yeah, thank you. This would be World, it's like the WCI, hold on a second, let me bring it up. So, it's called the WCI. It was done by the FBI, and is it called the World, I want to say it's something crime index.
You're talking about the cyber crime index?
Yeah, the Oxford 2024 World Cyber Crime Index.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's the best indication, because the thing is when you talk about cybercrime, there's the prosecution of cybercrime, but then there's the events themselves. And some events go unmeasured. Other events are measured and not reported because a lot of brands that are attacked or government agencies that are attacked don't want to report that they've been attacked because there could be a brand implication. You know, if let's say if it's a company that's been attacked, if they announce that they've been attacked, then their customers will say, oh, well, you're receiving attacks, maybe I should not trust you. So a lot of this stuff goes unreported or underreported, where you get your best intel comes from companies that are providing solutions that monitor for this type of thing, and then they aggregate it. They don't call out the companies directly or the other entities that are being attacked. But consistently, Russia is always number one. Like that's been true since I've been tracking this stuff. China has flare-ups, and they're capable of doing some pretty massive attacks, specifically on the DDoS front. But if you look at some of the more sophisticated stuff, like some of the bots that are utilized for web scraping and things like that, you can get sophisticated people that can create bots that don't require an army of infected machines, and it can literally be one person that's creating this havoc. But I'd be interested to hear the list that you were going to give. Typically, you see in order. Usually, it's Russia, China, and then the U.S. Ever since the conflict that's happening between Russia and Ukraine, Ukraine has kind of moved up the list. But I'd be interested in hearing what your list has to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. Same. But then I got curious, and hold on, let me look here. Hold on. Yeah, so you're right. Russia, Ukraine, China, U.S., Nigeria, Romania, North Korea, UK, Brazil, and India. But per population, because I was just curious about that. I mean, like that, you don't really, what it's worth. India, Brazil, and China were underrepresented per population. But then there was an overpopulation, overrepresentation of Ukraine by like 16 times. Like 16.7, they had an overrepresentation of 16 times. It's like a lot of cybercrime in Ukraine. But also, they separate the crimes in different categories. And I did happen to be right for online scams from Nigeria. But see, I want to say this. So it said, I mean, this is that report. So we're only taking this one report. And that was the advanced fee scams, like online scams, like Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. That was like 50, it was a very over representation of Nigeria. They did most of those crimes. But then also, I was looking up some other, because I wanted to see why everyone's focused on Nigeria, and then there were actual studies saying that there might be a bias of just people like doing studies for Nigeria, like too many studies focused on Nigeria and not appropriately. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Roger, do you understand what I'm saying? Could you say it better?
No, We understand.
So I thought that was, but that was a surprise for me. Like Ukraine, like what? And then
they're involved in a fucking war. You're going to use every tool at your disposal. If it's not shocking. Go look at the numbers prior to the invasion of where Ukraine ranks. You'll see a big difference.
oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. But why do they say? Because they're still ranked, like they still use the same rankings as everybody else. So like we're talking specific type of scams. Why would Ukraine be listed for those specific types of crimes? These are the attacks. Let's look at Ukraine. Hold on, there's Ukraine. Okay, so that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Okay, so attacks and extortion, they're very high. Okay, identity theft. They look like they're the second highest. First is Russia. I can understand that. Cashing out money laundering, yeah, they're second in that, second to Russia. And overall scams, like the online scams, I see, yeah, they're pretty low. Okay.
If you guys are interested in cybercrime, you guys should read a book called Fatal System Error. Barrett Lyon, when he was a young man, he came up with a solution that would block DDoS attacks, and he did this to protect his gaming server. And once he figured it out, he started reading about how DDoS attacks were prevalent on online poker sites. So he reached out to the online poker sites and expressed to them that he had a solution. A company called BetChris, one of the very first online gambling companies, was located in Costa Rica. They moved him to Costa Rica. He solved the problem for them because what would happen is their servers would get hit with a huge DDoS attack. They would lose revenue, and then the attacker would say, hey, if you can transfer us Bitcoin, we'll stop attacking you. So they had to play ball for a while, and then Barrett Lyon helps them to figure out how to defend themselves, and then the folks at BetChris said, well, hey, now that you've solved this problem, we should productize this. And so they started the first DDoS mitigation company called Prolexic. And then initially it was only protecting gaming companies, online gambling companies, as well as companies in the adult entertainment industry. And so then after he kind of dominated that market, he sold the company to a company out in the Philippines called IP Converge. IP Converge, they were the hosting company for the movement of online gambling to the Philippines. And so they bought it so they could make it mandatory to sell DDoS protection to all of the gaming operators that moved to the Philippines. Once they exploited that, it got sold back out to private equity in some company in Florida, which then partnered with Level 3, which was a Tier 1 ISP that cleaned it up a little bit, started selling to online, or not online banks, but traditional banks like the Big Four. And once they could call the Big Four banking customers as customers, they then sold to Akamai, and Akamai's DDoS mitigation product is Prolexic under the hood. So if you want to hear the story of how all that stuff went down and how people in Russia are still trying to kill poor old Barrett Lyon for ruining their scam, you should read the book Fatal System Error.
What's the gross national product of California?
It's I think 5th or 6th largest in the world. Interestingly enough, Texas is as big as Russia. Just for perspective.
So wait, Pima, I don't even know if you ever said which country is the biggest purveyor of online cyber fraud and crime, but I put it into Grok, and I'm wondering, what was your answer, Pima?
Russia, according to the Oxford 2024 World Cybercrime Index report. that what you got? What's the source to share?
I'm trying to find it in back right now. One sec. I was gonna say India. That was my guess.
And do you know what else? I was surprised, like I said, that they're like underrepresented according to their capability in the population. So just because of how big they are, it's just, yeah, very interesting. The expected amount, like if you made a pie and made the slices according to, you know, like one person, like you had a slice of the pie representing each country, and according to the population, you would think that they're supposed to have like one slice. Like they have less than a slice, and I thought that was so interesting.
India has 52 political parties. Figure that out.
Well, that's great, isn't it? I wish America was like that.
Well, it reduces their collaboration. Everybody wants their biggest piece of pie. So it dissolves their validity in terms of they don't have the reach they could have if they were united.
Do you have, to the whole states, do you have 52 things in your life that you even worry about? I mean, what could be the subtle differences or even the gross differences in freaking life in general that require 52 different reasons other than some unhealthy reason? What the hell?
I agree.
I think you need a political party for each to represent each week of the year. Because people's views vary.
They must have 52 cow dogs or something. I mean, what the hell would they need 52 parties?
Well, it's a regional thing. It's not national politics per se. What she's saying, it's probably regional, right, Joby?
Well, yeah, they're not all in the same unit, but there could be crossover. I mean, you got Tamil Nadu, you got Bangladesh, you got New Delhi, you got a lot of extension within that 52 air quotes states within their own country.
I mean, does anyone think that the founders were intelligent? You know, I mean, if you look at the roster of presidents, there's only 3 parties that appear. Whig is one of them, and then I think that's right. It's just Whig, Republican, and Democrat, right? There's never been some other major national party.
There was a Republican Democrat, I forget, it's either Democratic Republican Party or Republic. There was another one, very short-lived.
By the way, India has 121 different languages. So assuming that you want to vote for somebody that can actually speak your language and explain to you what they believe, you'd probably be voting for somebody who speaks your language.
And when you vote, you just get a red dot in the center of your forehead to show you voted.
And then you look like everyone else, so nobody can tell.
Well, it would appear that casting a vote is a divine right.
You can't afford machines either. Or some don't even have electricity.
Mike, did you mean 22 or 121? I see 22 different languages.
Before you answer that, I just wanted to say the poll is up, and poll's not going to stay up all day, but there's people on the stage, even moderators, that haven't responded yet. I'd love to get full participation, trying to get a large sample size so we can understand who's got the best moderation on Clubhouse. Is it politically correct? Is it healthy debates? Is it in the muff? Or is it chillism?
According to Google, India has a vast linguistic diversity with 121 languages and 270 mother tongues. The Indian Constitution officially recognizes 22 official languages. Many of the languages and dialects are spoken throughout the country.
All right, so how many languages do we represent in the states? Just one? Would we agree it's one, or do we hear enough of other languages to think they're representative of our population?
Wouldn't that be regional?
I don't know, but these are different languages. So I guess America has primarily Spanish and English. I mean, those are the two that are like large enough to be officially be counted. I mean, when I worked at Home Depot corporate, we made signs for Spanish and English. And
I don't know if you were hanging in Dearborn, Michigan, you might do it in another language.
maybe if we are testing one more.
You divide 122 and 1.5 billion, and that I bet would be comparable to Chinese, Korean, Spanish, and English in our country. Don't you think? Or am I wrong about that?
I guess I'm not that concerned about the language. I'm more concerned about the message behind 52 political parties, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Joe. I just think that Mike brings up a good point. Do you think it's the language itself that, leads to the proliferation of political parties to make a country that could be, significantly more powerful, important, governed so, inefficiently?
I mean, I'm sure the languages overlap, so I'm sure many of them speak multiples of them, so it would explain the difference between 50 and 121.
Oh, Joe, are you modding all the women?
Yeah, we're in the muff. It only makes sense.
Okay.
Hello everybody. What does it mean in the muff?
Are you familiar with the term muff at all?
Pardon me? Sorry?
You are pardoned. So in the muff is a reference to a woman's femininity, more specifically their vagina hole.
That was wonderful.
Seriously? Are you kidding?
Do you think I would joke about something like this? I'm a feminist, for fuck's sake.
Okay. Let me search Google.
No, you don't have to do that.
But I do think we should cite the 21st century.
No, please do. I want him to go search
Roger, if he winds up in my back channel, I'm holding you accountable.
We'd actually like to hear chapter guy. What's something mentionable or notable in your life today that you can share with us? Anything?
About me?
Yeah.
Okay, so nowadays I'm going through very bad chapters because I meet people, strangers, and yeah, I got very good experience.